Welcome back, everyone.
We are Liv.
We are Liv.
We are Liv.
Arcus is Liv. Me and Jeff are dated. He's a young, strapping buck.
Ooh, unbreaking 3 gold pence.
Isn't a buck a reindeer?
It's not a reindeer per se.
But you know they yes.
So what is a reindeer?
What do you mean? What is a reindeer?
So I mean, reindeer is something that you hear about with the Christmas time and blah blah blah. But they're actually real animals. Like what makes a deer?
Reindeers.
But what makes a deer different than a reindeer? Yeah, are they caribou? Are they elk? Are they?
They're fucking reindeer.
Well,
they're reindeer. That is an animal.
No,
that's not. They're more like elk.
It is. No, hold on.
They're like a downgraded version of a moose, basically.
No, they are reindeer. They are reindeer. That's what they are. It's like if you ask, what is otter? Otter is otter. Banana is banana.
But
and
they're reindeer. Reindeer. I like how you say it.
Hold on.
Like they have some sort of reign over you.
I want to know. Is there really like?
Because
there really are reindeer. I do know that there really are reindeer, but I just don't know what like a reindeer is.
So the recommendation by Google is reindeer kosher? Is reindeer compound word?
Yes, is reindeer kosher is actually what I wanted to know.
Is reindeer real? That's the third suggestion. All right.
Well, they're not though, right?
I'm looking this up.
They just appear in like the fairy tale with the guy in the hat.
Reindeer are real.
But yeah, and they are real, but I don't know what they are.
They're not really
They're just
real,
reindeer.
No, but they can't. No, because they fly.
I think reindeer might actually just be the term for deer in some of the really cold climates. And I only say that because I've only seen movies talking about real reindeer when they were like in Siberia or like Antarctica or something like that. And I don't even know if that's because it was
reindeer and caribou are different.
Okay.
Reindeer and caribou are often used interchangeably in North America. However, they are not the same. They are long-lost relatives of the caribou, and they sometimes will breed when they will interbreed, but they are not the same animal. There you go. Reindeer are reindeer.
So it basically is saying that reindeer aren't actually real. Caribou are real, but reindeer are not real.
So reindeer.
That's what I got out of what you said.
So the reindeer are just the made-up pulleys of the snow cart, right? The snowmobile.
The snow cart?
Are you talking about Santa's sleigh?
Well, that's what reindeer are, right?
Santa has a snowmobile in Denmark. A snowmobile.
A snowmobile.
Not even from Denmark. You get it wrong.
Oh, Dutchland?
Norway. Just say Norway.
Damn it. I knew it was something over that.
I regret.
What do you regret exactly?
Just general relationships with Guude. Anyway,
I regret those as well, but I've come to accept them.
Well, I mean, if you had asked me 2 years ago, hey, do you think some random guy from America can change your nationality? I'd say no, but here we are. Here we are. It's just all different. I need to know all the traditions.
Well, but at the same time, who would have expected that I would have come along to be able to do that? I mean, I'm pretty impressive.
Oh God.
So I want to change the subject.
Go on.
The reindeer was not my chosen topic for today. How about that Louis C.K.?
So you know what? I was gonna actually start this episode talking about that. I just wasn't sure if Arcus was gonna appreciate it as much.
I am blown away. Not because
I am so much less blown away by.
So I'm not blown away that Louis C.K. is a pervert. I kind of gathered that from his comedy. What I'm blown away with is his choice of perversion. Who the fuck? If you're gonna
dude, you are so passionate. You're peaking so bad on my headset right now.
This is like reindeer conversation times 10 passionate. Like
you're like,
wow.
I can't believe that.
You are peaking now. Well,
I was purposely making myself peak.
Really? Jeff wasn't peaking at all.
It's frustrating because I changed mics for VR and getting my settings back the same? Am I fine now, by the way?
I mean, you're okay now. I can tell that if you talk louder, it will be just as problematic.
I know how much you like talking about audio issues, Guude, but we're talking about Luis.
Luis Seco.
Luis.
So if you're, I mean, I think it's reprehensible that he's done what he's done. But who the fuck brings some women into the room and then just whips his dick out and starts jerking off? If you're gonna what?
Well,
Drugs.
You know, it's really funny. I was just out to dinner.
It was just jerking off.
I was just jerking off. I was just out to dinner earlier today with somebody that Julia works with. Julia's new coworker who is like in town randomly, and like these people are all working for this crazy company that I would not have ever thought. Like first time I met him, and I would never have thought that our first conversation would be about Louis C.K. It was about Louis C.K. Today.
Well, because it was in the news. Then,
right? I'm sure that's why. But it's just a weird conversation to have with somebody who's like your wife's coworker with the new job to start talking about like Louis C.K. And
did he just start talking about him jerking off?
No. He started talking about how it's crazy that all this stuff is happening in the news, and we both agreed like, where is it going to end? Obviously, this is not the end. This is probably the way that the film industry and the movie industry was for many, many years, and people like accepted it, quote unquote. But now that it's all coming out, it's like, you know, it was unacceptable to happen, but people just let it happen because it was quote unquote acceptable. It's back then, which is the problem.
It's starting to appear everywhere, though, not just in the film industry. Like in my country, like journalists are coming forward. Well, one in particular, I guess, and also like in one of your wannabe senators. Like, wasn't it like the guy who was running for Alabama or someone? Also, like people are coming out against him.
I heard
one person came out and said that whenever he was like 30, he like tried to get her, or like took her back to his house and molested her when she was 14.
Yeah.
Well, and the biggest question that came from this conversation is, it's probably very terrible that all this stuff actually happened, but then how much of the stuff in the mix of what really did happen is really not what happened that's muddling the issue?
I mean, yeah, there'll probably be fake people that come forward too.
Right. So a story, and I only bring that up because a story like, you know, saying that Louis C.K. literally walked you back into a hotel room and immediately pulled out his penis and started masturbating. It sounds fake at the outside. Whether it's fake or not, I'm not trying to
if
like
there had
victim
been
shame.
two women in the same room that when it happened, I would have at first been like, what? But also the fact, I mean, I think with all of these things, it's important that you have multiple people that come forward, not just one.
Agreed.
One of the things that I thought about today after the Louis C.K. stuff was just not too long ago, whenever Trump was running for president, a lot of women came forward and said that he had assaulted them, and that shit just all went away. And I feel like it went away because he got elected president, not because of it not being legitimate. And I just think that's kind of weird.
I mean, Trump himself had a video where he was talking about grabbing women by the pussy.
Right. So like, that's what I don't understand. Like, so like you know, you got Kevin Spacey, Harvey Weinstein.
I'll be honest, the Kevin Spacey one still throws me off. Not because
it doesn't mean he's always been a creepy gay guy.
Well,
I mean, not that gay is creepy, but he's always been a creepy guy.
Oh, I agree with you in what you're saying, and I understand what you're saying, but the first allegation that came out against Kevin Spacey was about somebody who was, what, 16?
14,
who said he had bought him drinks and was said inappropriate things to him, and that was it. And he right when that news came out, Kevin Spacey said, I did not mean any of the things I said. If they were taken in some other way, I don't remember doing anything inappropriate, but if I did, I'm sorry. Like, he was one of the first people that immediately just came out and apologized for his actions that he didn't even think were, you know, he didn't even remember if he made those actions or not. And
he also tried to spin it with, oh, and by the way, I'm gay.
Oh, so yes, that started to happen. Oh, I went the wrong way.
That was all in the same statement.
Was in the very first statement?
Yeah, it was all in the same statement.
And it was more
like, I didn't remember it if it happened, but if it did happen, I apologize, and I'm gay.
Oh, that's right. Didn't he already come out as being gay?
No.
I've known Kevin Spacey was gay since before I started watching.
Everyone has. That's what I was saying. Is everyone's always. This wasn't a secret to anyone, I don't think. But it was just one of those things where it wasn't public. Like he didn't walk around, saying that he was gay. He just was, and everyone knew it.
He just was. So either way, I found it really odd that he came out, apologized immediately, and granted, not thinking he did anything wrong, apologized, but the media lambasted him for basically apologizing, and I guess the whole gay thing on top of it as well, which is,
I think that's why he got really shit on.
You think so?
He tried to spin it.
I guess maybe I didn't read the news with the right attitude that day, because I was pretty sure that they were coming out against him because. And what I read in the news, I was like, man, they're like, he's saying he's sorry, and now they're instantly saying that means you're admitting you did it. And then all these other people are saying like, no, we didn't do this, and they're like, this people did it, or these people did it, and they won't admit that they did it. And I was like, who can fucking win with the media like this? And granted, I'm not.
Everyone that I saw like on Reddit and stuff was basically like, who the fuck tries to spin it where, okay, yeah, maybe I did do this. If I did, I'm sorry, but I'm gay, so it's okay. Like that's how everyone, at least on Reddit, was taking this as him trying to spin it in a way.
I guess I didn't take it that way, and it's not. It doesn't mean that I'm right in the way that I took it by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just. I don't know. It's such
but either way, even if you do apologize, you can't apologize and say, hey, if I did, I didn't mean to. The guy was 14, so like, even if there is no apology, like you can't apologize for molesting a kid.
Well, he didn't molest him though.
He got on top of him.
Wait, no. What I read, he came onto him like at an event.
No, like he said that he got on top of him in their bedroom.
Okay, maybe I didn't read the right articles, because if I were the things I read about the 14-year-old kid were not that he. I
don't have the cords. I'm not there actually. I ran off and went. Sorry, Arcus. I can't help you.
Wait, did you die?
No, Arcus wants the coordinates. He's trying to come there. 18, I ran off looking for caves.
1893, negative 3297.
18.
So yeah, positive. So 1900, negative 3300.
Okay. Copy over.
Copy.
Wait, copy over? Over copy?
Copying over. Copy.
But why would you say copy over? Over.
I don't. I know 50% of what I do.
I mean, just say copy. End of transmission.
Copy over. I mean, I need to say two things to make it flow.
It doesn't. No, you don't. Absolutely not.
So you had to say you don't twice.
You said a whole bunch of words together.
I mean, I say that stuff because I'm being ironic.
But you said things twice.
Twice?
Over.
Over easy.
Easy. Copy over.
That's
difficult.
Not the same thing twice.
But
so, but where do you think, this is my question, where do you think this is going to end?
I mean, everyone that has fucked with people, probably eventually a lot of them will get what they deserve.
I agree, but how much farther do you I just saw you, Arcus.
Hey, yeah, I'm here.
I mean, this isn't honestly, people have been coming forward with shit like this for years and a long time. And the fact that it's just like suddenly something has happened to where people are listening is what it feels like to me. Because to me, this isn't anything new where people are alleging that, people do shitty things.
I agree. And I think the bigger problem is that this is not it's not new at all in the film industry. And these people are just like literally the tip of the iceberg because they probably learned, and not saying this is right, but they probably learned from the people who were...
I don't think this is just a film industry thing. I think this happens in corporate America all the time as well. I
completely agree with you there. But I'm saying, I think from the film industry, this is going to come out with like 15 more people in the next month.
Basically, anywhere where there is a person that holds power over other persons, either being their boss or, having anything over them, this stuff is going to happen.
So this is the shit that really, really, really concerns me as a nurse who is a male and who is now a manager.
Well, just don't fuck anyone, Jeff.
I mean,
Yeah,
but
You don't have to. Just because you're in a position of power doesn't mean you have to molest anyone.
But my entire department is women. 90% of my workforce is women. Granted, it's not 90% really anymore, but my entire department is women. There's no men in my department.
I'm hearing this like you're worried you're going to suddenly just molest someone.
No, but I'm worried about the connotation that could potentially come from this. Because granted, I have a team right now who I fully trust, and I know nobody would ever sit there and be like, well, like, I can make a lot of money by saying that Jeff, did inappropriate things. I have no question.
See, that's what I was saying earlier. I think that this sort of thing I don't think there's people out there that are, I mean, there probably are people that would do that sort of thing.
There's absolutely people that will do this or that sort of thing.
But I think it only, this, like, the reason why all of this that we've heard about we can believe is because multiple people came forward. So I think you'd have to have multiple people that are willing to fuck you over like that in order for it to be a thing.
Do you think so right now in today's society with everything that's going on? I think if one woman in my department were to decide like, oh, Jeff's going down, they could easily just be like, Jeff tried inappropriately to do all this stuff. I would be fired in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
I don't believe
it's got so much media attention right now. I don't think there's any way that the hospital couldn't fire me in a heartbeat and save any type of face.
I think that you could do the reverse and go straight to the media that you've been fired for false allegations, and you could file suit against the hospital, and
I could,
et cetera, et cetera.
I could, as a male in the nursing profession. How far do you think that's going to get?
I would lawyer up immediately if it was me.
And but what is the connotation of lawyering up?
What do you mean? You gotta get a lawyer.
When somebody gets a lawyer for being accused of something in the movies, in the media,
no, not lawyer up for your defense. Lawyer up to sue. I would immediately file suit again.
I would like to hear what Arcus has to say, because I think Arcus is going to say that it still sounds bad.
It sounds bad.
I disagree.
I think
I would not sit back and take. I would not get fired and just be like, well,
I'm not saying that you're wrong in your thought process, that that's the right thing to do, but public perception wise, how does that look?
If you're filing suit for wrongful termination, it looks like you got wrongfully terminated. You want a lawyer to make sure that you can sue the fuck out of them.
How many senators, how many people in like political positions have you seen trying to do those things? And everybody's like, "Oh, this piece of shit right now."
No one. I don't. Like whenever Bill Clinton got accused, he didn't immediately start trying to sue Monica Lewinsky, and he got his shit caught.
So you think had he tried to sue Monica Lewinsky, he wouldn't have? He would have looked better in your mind?
Well, yeah, but he would have looked a lot more innocent. But he wasn't innocent, so that would have been a real stupid thing to do, and he knew that.
Would it really have been that stupid to do?
Yeah!
Why? What would it have changed if he tried to sue her for defamation of character?
Well, I think it's a wrongful lawsuit, and she could have countersued and took him for everything he was worth.
I mean, are we talking before or after we knew that the sperm dress existed?
Do what?
Are we talking before or after the sperm dress existed?
Well, obviously before the sperm dress. Because once the sperm dress was out, he knew he was fucked.
Right. Once it was out, he knew he was fucked. So, if that would have been a really stupid thing to do at that point.
I think, I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm just living in a naive world where the truth wins. Or at least you don't fucking back down whenever you haven't done anything wrong. You don't just accept termination because someone said something about you or whatever. Like, I would definitely fight the fuck out of that.
I mean...
Well, I mean, it's hard to do anything because perception is... Oh, like, as soon as someone mentions you and, like, sexual predator in the same sentence, like, you've been branded, right?
It's parrots that are...
Did I not say predators? Did it... Predator?
Predator.
Whatever. Shut up.
What do you think about Bill O'Reilly's thing that came out either today or yesterday or whatnot?
Is there something new?
Well, maybe it's not new. It was the discussion of his contract, and apparently in his contract it specifically states like that basically they could not fire him for sexual harassment allegations. They had to be proved in court before they could fire him for it. It's like written into his contract.
What an insane thing.
Well,
how could a company sign something like that? That basically says, "Hey, I'm a fucking dick."
Well, and the funny thing,
they like allocate money for lawsuits as well at like Fox.
Well, and that's where the question comes, is because it said they have to prove it in court, and when he settles outside of court, that's not now proved in court because the lawsuit is dropped because there's a settlement. And how does that?
So is he suing Fox for wrongful termination?
So I was trying to read the article because that's the way I was getting that they were going with this story, and because it was like a Fox News story, and it didn't get there though. It didn't ever say that it was they were bringing this up because he was suing for wrongful termination. Because as of now, he hasn't been convicted, right?
No.
So it's very.
I don't know if anyone's actually bringing charges against him because he's paid so many millions of dollars to everyone that he's harassed.
Well, right. So I'm surprised, based on that story that I read, how he can actually get fired if that was really written in his contract, and the courts really never have said, like, proven that he did this.
You know what's dumb? What's really dumb? Bill O'Reilly, you're real dumb. If you're gonna pay people anyway, why don't you just get a bunch of hookers, man? What's wrong with you?
I mean,
that is true. That is true. Why? You know what? But you know what? That's because he needs this. He's a sexual predator. Like he doesn't just need sex. He needs to feel this power over people.
Well, and that's the thing. It's easy to sleep with people who will sleep with you. I mean, I know that's a profound statement and everything, but if people want to sleep with you, it's easy to sleep with them. The people who don't want to sleep with you, those are the ones that are hard to sleep with, and that's the people that Bill O'Reilly wants to sleep with.
Who gets off all masturbating in front of women? Who just whips their dick out and starts masturbating? It blows my mind.
I do find that funny because I would never be able to masturbate in front of a woman without wanting her to participate. So
right.
I don't even know what you
just whip it out and start jacking off, and her just be like sitting on the bed like, "What the fuck is happening?" And you know, with him being a comedian, like one of the things I read with the woman, there were two of them in the room when he first said, "Hey, can I pull my dick out?" They thought he was joking, like, "This is a little bit" or whatever. And then suddenly he pulls his dick out,
and they were like, "This is a little bit, little bit."
I don't know. That shit just blows my mind. I can't. I'm more in shock that was what he did than.
Well, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because people's sexual tendencies are always weird and very personal, and you know, you're not meant to understand them because they're very, you know. I
don't understand how anyone in a position of power or in a public position can do stuff like this either. Like you have to just immediately know that it's going to come out eventually.
Well,
I just feel like
it didn't.
But it did eventually.
But it was like in 2005, right?
1996, 2002, 2003, and 2005.
96.
But there might be more now that these people have come out, right? You think he just stopped in 2005?
Yeah. Well, that's when he got divorced. So when you're not hiding it from your wife anymore. I mean.
So now he found someone that likes him to masturbate, and now he's good?
No, when it's not hidden from your wife anymore because you're not married anymore, then it's not as exciting. I don't know. Maybe it's not.
So you think he got off on masturbating?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I'm making a bunch of things up, but I would bet that that's part of it. The fact that he had a wife at home at the time, because I did read the article that talked about how the women said something about you, or he tried to hit on some woman and tell her that he wanted to do something to her, and her response was, "You have a baby and a wife," and he was like, "I know, I have a problem." I take you didn't read that article. But
no, I only read little bits about this. I was still just confused, mostly confused. I don't understand.
I think the moral of the story is just don't do stupid shit.
Well, sure, that's easy to say. I mean,
well, yeah, that's why I say it.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. I mean, like we gotta. At some point, this whole like hashtag Me Too thing is it's a good thing that it's all coming out, but
hashtag Me Too.
Hashtag Me Too. That's kind of the whole quote unquote movement, right? Of people coming out.
Oh, is it?
I'd never heard of that before. Maybe I'm not with the times anymore. Maybe I'm old.
Well,
I didn't know how to hashtag.
Well, it does. Aren't you on the MySpace?
On the
Actually, I don't know. My Friendster feed did not tell me what was happening.
But anyway, it's like it's weird for people in
He's
power.
He's
like,
so young, he doesn't even know what Friendster is.
I know what Friendster is. It's like MySpace, right?
It was.
I actually don't know.
It was like the predecessor of MySpace.
What year is this?
2017.
17, yes. No, was Friendster?
I know what this year is.
You said what year is this?
2001, maybe?
You don't need to remind me. 2001?
Mm-hmm.
That's 16 years ago.
You weren't even born yet.
Well, when you say it like that, just because Friendster can drive, I don't see what the problem is.
Friendster can drive.
Well, who knows? But the thing is, like, at what point can we still flirt with people, and at what point does that flirting become inappropriate?
I mean, flirting has theoretically always been inappropriate if it's not reciprocated, right? Like, that's the funny thing about sexual harassment policies,
right?
The what?
You got to start off. I said you can't know if someone shares your interest without flirting.
Yeah, but like, according to sexual harassment, like policies and stuff, at most,
flirting at work is never appropriate.
Yeah, well, unless it's reciprocated, then it's appropriate.
You can't flirt at work.
You can't flirt at work.
Which is fucked up because that's when 90% of the people, and I'm making up that statistic, but it's a good chunk of people like meet their significant others.
Yeah, but what does flirting entail? Like, what do we define as flirting?
Well, I think that's where the lines are blurred. If what you did to flirt with somebody crossed what they thought was the line, then that was too far. If it did not cross what they thought was too far, then it did not cross the line.
Maybe Louise thought he was flirting.
I mean,
I thought about this. I questioned this in my head when I first read all this, but you can't just whip your dick out. You can't ever. That's not flirting. You can't be like,
well,
hey,
unless she liked it.
Right, but like, okay, but hold up. But then at one
that
point,
is the inherent problem, though. It's unless she liked it. If she liked it, then it was perfectly acceptable.
But that's but
this isn't like it's abnormal.
Oh,
so like,
I understand. I'm not saying it's acceptable to even talk about, but that is where the distinction on the line is very blurred. Is because if she found that acceptable, then we would not have this conversation.
Well, and I think also the fact that at least one person found it unacceptable.
Correct.
And told him. Well, yeah, and told him this. It never should have happened again. It should have been like, apparently whipping your dick out to women, it's strange. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore.
To her, but the next person might not have thought the same thing, because that's where I'm not trying to say that I accept that what he did was acceptable. People, I'm not trying to say that, but I am saying that. Had it been acceptable to her in the first place, then we wouldn't be having this conversation, obviously. And had it been acceptable to the second person, and who knows if that was the second person? Maybe that was the 34th person and only the 32nd one that found it unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Inexplicable.
This is such a difficult topic. Cause like
it's really not that difficult. Treat women with respect.
No, but like
treat anybody else with respect, and don't cross quote unquote the line, and understand what the line is.
I just think, I think that's like, it's almost like, is he sexually retarded? And I don't know if that's a word or a term or not, but that's basically what it feels like to me. Like, or socially retarded. Like, and he seems like a very smart person. Like, when you listen to his stand-up, he seems like someone that has a clear understanding of what is socially acceptable and not. So to me,
right,
I don't think that I think he's proven that he knew it was unacceptable beforehand, just based on his comedy about social awkwardness. Like, he has tons of bits about this sort of thing.
But he was rich and famous at maybe not 96. I don't know where he was.
No, he wasn't. He had not taken off yet. He was just
in 2005. He had definitely started to take off.
Maybe. I'm not quite sure where. But either way, no matter what, he knew that this was not acceptable.
Well,
there's no question.
No,
Maybe
I don't know if that's true, because maybe it worked 3 or 4 times before, and he thought that was the way that it worked.
If you're moderately successful and you're surrounded with people who are basically yes men saying, "Oh, you're so cool, you're so nice. Oh, I like everything you do. You're so cool." At some point, you start to, it can have an effect on you. Like, oh, like everything I do is awesome, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that has an effect too.
Yep. I mean, are you telling me, Guude, that you've never gone somewhere and people were like, "Oh my God, Guude, you're famous. I love you."
I've never went anywhere and started whipping my dick out.
No, but people might have been okay with you having done that because you were a famous guy that they wanted to do things with. Because
even if that was the case, I would know that it's not okay and not do it.
You would know that. Louis C.K.
And he did
apparently
too.
didn't.
He did too. You can't tell me he didn't. I will never ever believe he did not know that this was not okay.
Well, just because you know it's not okay doesn't mean you're not going to do it.
Well, then you should fucking be prosecuted.
I mean, that's probably what's going to happen to him.
Probably.
Probably not. Probably not.
You don't think so?
People just gonna come out and I don't think a lot of people are gonna go.
Well, actually, you know what will probably happen is people that have come out will get paid, and that's good enough for them.
Yeah, maybe. I'm like, criminal charges is really tough, and like a lot of these allegations sometimes are like from 30 years ago, and I think a lot of those like go away after a couple times. Like they're not valid in court anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what the statute of limitations for public masturbation is. Actually, it wasn't in public.
Well,
what is this crime?
It's 2.5 years. I'm just kidding.
Oh, well,
I have no idea.
How do you know that?
I have
no idea.
No, but I mean, people are already getting vilified in the media if there's just a scent of it, right? Like, it's just, yeah. They might just get really prosecuted in the media.
Well, and that's where the biggest problem comes now, too, is because people are getting vilified in the media. If there's even a scent of it, how much stuff is going to come out that's fake versus how much stuff that's going to come out that's real? And are people going to be able to make the delineation anymore after a while? And you're going to end up having some real victims who are really, like, put through hell because people don't believe them. And you're going to have some fake victims glorified because people do believe them.
I'll tell you what, if anyone comes out and says Tom Hanks has done anything, you can immediately know that shit ain't real.
I disagree with you.
Oh, no. Tom Hanks is fucking golden.
I mean, I would have thought that Donald Trump and Louis C.K.
Confirmed.
before this.
Tom Hanks has paid good Boulder Fruits guys.
All right, what about John Goodman?
John Goodman is... Well, you know what? Actually, if it came out John Goodman had done something, I'd believe it.
I believe it too.
I wanted to come out that some super freaking hot female actress.
Well, that's one that just came out, Mariah Carey, supposedly, and I don't believe that one.
Oh, I didn't read that at all. But.
Yeah, Mariah Carey's bodyguard
Yeah,
said that she sexually assaulted him, and I don't believe it. Because she also didn't pay him $200,000. I think this is his way of getting back at her.
Well, I mean, it's possible.
It is possible. Sure, it is possible. I just
now
think
you're victim shaming, dude. Victim shaming. I don't know.
Is that a word?
Victim shaming is a huge thing right now in the media.
Okay.
Let's all just take a step back and take a good look at what's happening, y'all. Just all I'm saying is, thanks for watching.
Yep, I agree.
Excuse me.
Thanks for watching.
I'll see you guys next time.
Flawless.